Once upon a time, in a small farm nestled in the rolling hills, there was a group of sheep who were fascinated by the world of software development. They had heard about the power of programming languages and algorithms, and they wanted to learn how to create their own computer applications. The sheep were determined to learn everything they could about software development, so they spent all of their free time studying code and data structures. They practiced their skills by working on small projects and debugging their programs whenever they encountered errors. As the sheep became more experienced, they started to dream of creating the most innovative and useful application the world had ever seen. They spent hours designing and testing their system, making sure that it was user-friendly and efficient. One day, as the sheep were deep in the midst of their work, they encountered a serious problem. They had been using version control to manage their code, but somehow they had ended up with two conflicting versions of the application. They weren't sure how to resolve the issue, and the deadline for their project was fast approaching. The sheep were starting to get worried, but then one of their wiser members spoke up. "Don't worry, my friends," she said. "We just need to use configuration management to reconcile the two versions of the code. Then we can continue with our deployment as planned." The sheep followed her advice and, to their relief, were able to resolve the conflict and complete their project on time. Their application was a huge success, and they were thrilled to see it being used by people all over the world. As the sheep's application became more and more popular, they started to receive requests for customizations and enhancements from all sorts of users. They were happy to oblige and spent many long days and nights working on updates and improvements. Everything was going smoothly until they received a request from an annoying client who was never satisfied with anything. No matter how hard the sheep tried to please him, he always had something to complain about. One day, the client called the sheep in a fit of rage. "Your application is garbage," he shouted. "It doesn't do what I want it to do, and it's full of bugs. I demand a full refund." The sheep were taken aback by the client's outburst and didn't know what to say. They had put so much time and effort into their application, and they knew that it was being used and loved by people all over the world. How could this one client be so unhappy with it? They decided to take a step back and listen to the client's complaints. After carefully reviewing his feedback, they realized that there was one small feature that he wanted that they had overlooked. The sheep apologized for the oversight and promised to add the feature as soon as possible. They worked tirelessly to incorporate the change and released an updated version of the application. To their relief, the annoying client was finally satisfied and even apologized for his previous behavior. "I'm sorry for being such a pain," he said. "Your application is actually really great. Thank you for all of your hard work." The sheep were relieved and grateful that they had been able to turn the situation around. They learned that even the most annoying clients can sometimes provide valuable feedback, and they were happy to have been able to make everyone happy in the end. As the sheep reflected on their journey, they realized that they had learned so much about software development and had grown as programmers. They knew that there would always be challenges ahead, but they were confident that with hard work and determination, they could overcome any obstacle. And so, the sheep continued to learn and grow, always striving to create the best and most useful applications they could. They were grateful for the opportunity to use their skills to make a difference in the world, and they looked forward to all the exciting adventures that lay ahead.